This is worth watching. And the reason why it's worth watching is because Brian Gorman designed this. We were down at the lake down at Brian's place. I'm Mark Gorman, Brian's brother, older little brother. And by the way, it's nice to be able to call your little brother your hero. And he is mine. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Brian for participating in keeping all of our country nice and free for us to act as we do. You know, and as you can see by the picture, he's something to be proud of. That picture that was up in front, we didn't get a lot of Brian the last 24 years. God damn, he got a lot of awards and shit that I didn't know about. You know, but anyway, we were down at his place, and you shoot the minnow. There's a place called Big Dick's down there. And you shoot the minnow, you get you get a T-shirt or something.
If you did the record, you got it.
Yeah, but we kind of, Brian decided, well, we're gonna, what would you say, redefine the shooting the minnow deal. You got to chew them up and like suck the eyeballs and shit out of them. You know, it ain't just shooting a minnow. You got to like shoot it and shoot it.
Class.
Anyway, so just to let you know, I kept it alive one there. We went into this thing unenlisted men, and we came out Navy SEALs. I swear, this dog, they're the SEALs.
Hey, mine's still got a hook in it.
That's all right. Well, I guess. There's somebody here that probably can get it out.
Yeah, baby. Woo, Daddy.
Now, I had to get well, the other
Hey,
one.
wait a minute.
The other one came back to life.
I promised the lady if she would give me a real good live one, I'd go ahead and eat the other one too. And as long as there isn't too much mercury in it, it'd be all right. But Brian had this way of doing it. He would just like let it for a couple minutes. We never got a T-shirt, but it was a hell of a night, wasn't it?
16 of those bad boys.
It was, but you know, I wanted to thank everybody for coming out, and I want to apologize if there's a lot of people that I haven't seen for years, and if I looked at you and didn't say anything, it's because I'm not quite sure if I know you. You know, I mean, I would if you came up and said, hey, you know, remember us in 5th grade or blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've had a couple of them come up and say, what the shirts you guys wore back then? Well, we all tried to make fashion statements. There's a lot of trends that were set from us, you know, up on 96 Terrace. You wouldn't not believe how far that went, especially with him. That guy went to countries, and he still had that shirt. The one with the, you know, the multicolored bead thing. You know, Brian had that. He still does, I think. But anyway, Kathy, I wanted to thank you for enriching Brian's life and making getting his deal. You know, I mean, you were everything to him, and that's a hard thing to find, you know, and I appreciate the hell out of that because I know what it was like being his brother and him being in the military, getting to see him maybe a couple of weeks out of a year I couldn't imagine being married to that, and I appreciate it more than I could ever say. You know, thank you very much, because you made him a happy man. We didn't just shoot them in on those nights. We talked about you. Okay? You made him a very, very happy man. All right? The rest of you, I love you. And if I didn't say hello, and yeah, you know, believe it or not, I wouldn't worth a shit in school, but I've learned lessons now daily. And if there was one to be learned here is, if you got a grudge, get over it and go up and put whoever it is in your arms and tell them you love them. You know, because they may not be here tomorrow. You know, it ain't worth it. Care about the fellow man, you know. Just make this a funnest time we can. I think it's what God intended for it to be anyways. It's just a party, the big time. And the last thing I wanted to touch on, I think I have got the most badass family that there ever has been in history. I think the Gormans is like the fucking best thing ever. You know, I thought that from the time Johnny beat the shit out of Henry Grayburg in 7th grade. I thought, man, it doesn't get any better than this. I don't ever have to fight anybody ever. Because now they think I got like 18 brothers, you know? To this day and from then, the Gormans are like the coolest family. Thank you all very much, the Gormans, for allowing me the funnest time I can think of. And you guys have a good night, okay? Thanks, Lise. Now I'm going to get my ass chewed out. I did something wrong to tell you that much.
Alright, don't adjust your TVs on this fat. Big. I lived next door to Brian for years. Me and my twin brother before the weight loss. I'm after the weight loss. Let me tell you something. You can't pick better neighbors than Brian and Kathy. I'm going to tell you what. We were already single and having parties every night. We run out of beer. We go to their house. I never had a barbecue with Brian when the sun was out because we drank so much beer that we kept forgetting about the grill. And then we'd have to, it'd be 8 or 9 at night, then we'd be like, well, we got to eat something, so we'd eat. I met Brian and Kathy the first time, and this is God's honest truth. I was driving by their house, and my friend lived next door. And I saw them drinking beer, and I go, well, I'm stopping. Well, I didn't know they were putting a new fence up, so I ended up building this fence for the next 2 weekends with them drinking beer. And then that led into me later, Tony buying the house, and we moved in. One year he hurt his back, and he talked me and my brother into putting his, you guys know how he, like the Griswolds at Christmas and Halloween. I got my big fat rump up on that roof putting them Santa Clauses up because Brian hurt his back. And Brian's like, a little bit over this way. And I go, man, I'm sweating this stuff. And I'm like, I really don't like heights. But you know what? That family right there, I love to death, and I do anything for them. Just Brian was the type of person that makes you want to be a better person and treat people the way he did. I love the man. Rest in peace. Love you.
Sorry, it's down and I did. You know, as growing up with children, I know I was a mistake. I know for a fact. My mother would tell me whatever. Nobody waits 8 years to have a baby. But some of these things are from up when he was in Chicago and stuff like that, and there are a lot of good memories that come up there. And rest in peace, my brother. I love you.
When he first went in, I was saying a while ago, I thought, you know what, I do admire him and thank him numerous times for my freedom, but I started thinking, how did this happen? You know, I mean, it happened to a couple of Steve, he went in, but I think they thought it was going to be more of a kind of a, like a party, which it probably was, but Brian got pretty serious with it. Steve got seriously out of it. You know, it was a little bit different time, different situation. The judge told Brian, a judge, like a circuit judge, you know, downtown. You got two choices here, son. You need to join the military or you're going to prison. Okay, the next day he joined the military, and the next week he was gone. And you can see that in his eyes. If you see the first picture on the left there, you got to look at that. It's like, what did I do? And I was thinking, what in the hell did he do? But we are gonna, how long you gotta hide somebody when they go AWOL before they're no longer being looked for? That's I figured, man, we got a 20-year bid here. We're gonna have to hide him, you know? And then you look at that picture there and it makes you so proud that I mean, the commitment and I don't know what goes into hanging around something like that for 23 years, but he loved it. And that's what makes me so proud is that second picture of, I got the shit. I know what's going on here, guys. You don't. And I'm protecting you. Everything's good. That kind of look, you know. And God bless you, Brian. We love you. Rest in peace and tell Mom and Dad hi.
They were talking to Old Navy is what I called him when I first met him. Old Navy, not old, but Old Navy. But he would call me Sarge because I was a sergeant in the Army. But he was all the time rolling up his fist like this, you know. And he was saying the key thing is the key thing. He was saying the key thing is respect. That's all they wanted. He wanted everybody to respect each other. Just wanted a little respect himself, and I'm sure you can see that from his Navy days. But I just wanted to add that. I don't know if anybody ever had him do that to you or you saw him do it, but you know what I say, the key thing, that was his go-to phrase was the key thing.
Hello. All right. I'm the infamous neighbor that moved in the neighborhood one day. Single guy that I was, and I moved next to Brian and Kathy. Brian and Kathy go, what do we got going on over here? 3 guys moving in, are they gay or what? I'm like, no, trust me, I'm a real guy. And so I noticed a trend with Brian. Me and Brian would sit there and he'd be like, what are you doing? I'd be like, I'm trying to fix my fence. He goes, you're doing it wrong, man. Everything I did was wrong, you know. And Brian would come over, oh, I got this tool, I got that tool. Come on, let's do this. I'm like, Brian, I don't have the money to do all this stuff you want to do to my house. And he's like, oh, we can do it anyway, Tom. Let's make it happen. And then one day, he goes, I got a project for you. Let's go up in the crawl space and plumb that thing out. And Kathy's like, what are you two doing? And we had to actually put a ladder up in his garage, go into a space and plumb a toilet. And I'm getting up there in my Carhartts, it's freezing cold, he's in his Carhartts, we're both laying on our back. He goes, I thought you knew how to plumb. You plumb pools, don't you? I go, I don't plumb toilets. He goes, don't you know what you're doing? I go, well, yeah, I guess we just stick the pipe up straight and plumb it in the toilet. And he goes, but it ain't working. Go get me a beer. And then Kathy's upstairs saying, you two knuckleheads, you ain't done yet. And about 8 hours later, we got it done. And Kathy's like, you guys have been working in that crawl space for 2 months. And I go, that's because we're just sitting on our backs drinking beer. But the best thing about Brian, when I first moved there, he was sincere, real. We're both veterans. And everything that I would do or he would do, we helped each other. That was his nature. Help each other out, let's make it better. Neighbors, you know. And everything that he would do, I'd be like, hey, you need some help? And everything I would do, he goes, hey, you need some help? And that's a big part of Brian that I remember. And also Kathy, you know, Kathy would make fun of me. She was like my mother. Every girl that came over, Kathy would be like, nope, 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 nope. But Brian would be there with her, nope, terrible Tony. But Brian, I always used to see that truck pull up and my Durango pull up, and me and him would sit there and we'd look like king of the hill. I'd be like, what are you doing? He goes, what are you doing? I go, drinking a beer.
And that's what I remember about Brian and me. It was a great bonding between us and Kathy and as a family. And that's what Brian was family. All right. Thank you, guys.